is Sandstorm. This is Sandstorm.
connect yourself with the word, so you're always online. Sonic can run fast, but my lord is always on time. Okay, I was doing the work, but only to check off the list. My lord didn't do me like that, so why would I do him like this? It's time to push his agenda, even if the odds are stacked, because he makes a way out of no way and he's got my back. Okay, you feel the pressure, huh? That ain't enough. We fall down, but now it's time to level up.
I forgot I got this paused. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here for another Stormcast. Thank you guys for coming through. Hold on, let me make sure that my mic and everything is all good. I feel like it is. I feel like y'all can hear me. It sounds like y'all already going crazy. Risky's in here. Right on time, I guess. Right on time. Hold on, let me change this up just a little bit. But I don't want that. Yeah, that's what I want. Let's run that. Yeah. That's better. Oh, now it disappeared on me. Let's try that again. Let me see. Yeah. There we go. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here for another beautiful Saturday. I'm actually really excited because my Lions are playing today in roughly about an hour. I'm hoping. I mean, this should be no problem for them. Real talk. There should be no problem for my Lions. They should definitely hold this down. Especially with that week off. You know, they come off a week being extra fresh. So yeah, I'm excited to them to run. Y'all can't see it, but it's actually this way. Not that way, but like on this side of my screen. But this side of my screen. Thank you. It's on this side of my screen, so I'll be keeping updated. So I'll give y'all updates if you want the updates for the actual game itself. Um, Real quickly here before we jump into it, let me get a little background music. Let me get the Ferrari ride as the background music for now. Yeah, let's do that for the background music. Real quickly here. Let me turn back up this overlay so I can actually see everything that's going on. So, what's up, Risky? You know what? Let me start off in order because that's a little disrespectful for the people who actually jumped in here first thing. What's up, Brand Smith? Thank you for coming through. RJ, appreciate you coming through. Chanel, my moderators, man, they holding it down for me as usual. 8Ball, appreciate you showing up, man. How you doing? Exodia, thank you for coming through, man. Samo, we had already talked. I already knew you was gonna show up. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see. I seen Joycey in the chat. Appreciate you coming through, Joycey. And Risky, of course. What up, Squared? My man. Appreciate you showing up, bro. Geronimo, my other moderator, man. Thank you for showing up, bro. I really appreciate you. Appreciate all y'all coming through. We're gonna have a good discussion tonight. I don't know if anybody else is jumping on. I'm not sure. I haven't really talked to anybody in that regards, but we'll see. Somebody may jump on. As a matter of fact, no, I think the only person I knew who like definitely wasn't gonna jump on was Cisco because he had already told me. But yeah, so we're gonna have a good night tonight and enjoy ourselves. Let me make sure everything is good as far as my phone. Somebody doesn't like want to sneak jump in or anything like that. Nope. Okay, cool. All right. Before we start off, I've been doing good, Trinell. I really appreciate that. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Before we start off, y'all know how we do. We got to start off with the prayer. So let me cut the music for like 2 seconds so we can get right into it. Father God, thank you for gathering us here today and just having an enjoyable conversation that we get to speak and talk about the things that we love and you know what we enjoy. We appreciate you for giving us this space. We appreciate that you have your hand over us. And we just thank you for all that you do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Real quickly here, and I want to say this too before we jump into the icebreaker. If you guys have any prayer requests or anything like that, you're going through something, you don't have to say it, in the chat. But if you need a prayer request, either shoot me right here in the prayer chat. If you feel a little uncomfortable with doing so, go ahead and DM me on Twitter. Y'all know the Twitter DM. If you don't, hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'll throw it right here for y'all real quick so y'all can take that down. But yeah, like I want to make sure that y'all are good. This is a real community. And we take it serious. We take the community serious. We want to make sure that all you guys are good, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all the leads, that everything's all right. So yes. But yeah, let's jump into it, man. Let's just jump right into it. What's the icebreaker for today? I actually have one if somebody else was actually going to be on, but they are not. And it was going to be, how did you feel about the Switch 2 reveal? But since it's just me, let's talk about let's do an icebreaker that kind of follows what we are kind of leading into. What games are you looking forward to, or what games would you really like to come to the Switch? Let me put that in the chat. Actually, as a matter of fact, if one of my moderators could, if y'all could for me, throw that in the chat for the icebreaker. What games would you like to see come to the Switch? And we're not talking about like if the system was powerful enough or blah, blah, blah. None of that. What games would you like to see come to the Switch? That is the question. So for me, yeah. Let's see. Oh, you guys are going on the price. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a whole breakdown. I Risky, I already knew you were gonna say GTA 6. I wasn't even surprised about that. That wasn't even a surprise to me. I have this feeling. I got this feeling that GTA 6 will come. I don't know about day and date. It depends. I will say this. It really depends more on when that game comes out and how many sales Nintendo have. But I think regardless of that, I can definitely say that they will get it late. Like that's for sure. They will definitely get it late. It's unfortunate, but I see that being a thing. Am I a mind reader? No, it's just the same thing that you bring up every time. Like that's the first thing that you bring up every time is can it run GTA 6? Can it run GTA 6? So I just knew. Let's see here. Joycey, of course, Zelda. Joycey said Zelda. Of course, Zelda. That one next to Risky. That one I figured I could guess out of you as well. But I know you're a huge Zelda head, so I definitely saw that one coming. Thank you, Exodia, for throwing that in the icebreaker. I really appreciate you. Samo says Skyrim, Switch 2 edition. That'll be interesting. I would say as fun as Skyrim is, from what we've been hearing, and we have to wait until like Monday, I think. But from what we've been hearing, we're getting like a Oblivion remake, I don't know if it's a remaster. I think it's actually like a full-on remake for Oblivion. Uh Xbox is supposed to have an Xbox Direct Tuesday. If I want to, if I'm correct, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If it's not Tuesday, but that's like kind of one of the highlights that everybody's talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if Oblivion too. But yeah, I mean, I love Skyrim. We already talked about this. Skyrim is a great game, so I definitely think that would definitely be one that shows up for there. So yeah. Geronimo said, "If we're talking Switch 2, I'd like Dragon's Dogma 2." Yeah, yeah. I think what Capcom is like one of those. Let me turn back on the music. I hate doing that. I hate doing that with like no music in my head. But uh, if we're talking about Capcom at this point, and I really think that Capcom has like a really good track record with Nintendo, especially early on. What up, Vito? Appreciate you coming through, bro. Holding it down for us. Oh ho. Uh, I think Capcom has a really good track record with Nintendo, and so for that reason, I think that Dragon's Dogma will come. Nell said Tatsunoko versus Capcom is what I would want. No need on this. Yo, that would be fire. If Tatsunoko versus Capcom, Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Like that would be hot. Like I think that would be crazy, man. Um yeah. Yeah, it was. Rockstar hates Nintendo. But Take Two Interactive, their mother company, like has no problems with Nintendo. So, you know, they're gonna do what they told them to do. If they told them to make a game for the Switch, and they're gonna make a game for the Switch. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You ain't gonna talk back to mama. You ain't gonna talk back to your mama. Uh, so yeah. RJ says, as someone who's been playing and enjoying Atlas games lately, I just want Atlas to stop the nonsense and put everything old on the new Switch. I feel that. Yeah, I feel that. Um, um, I haven't played the Shimigami games before 5, so I would be really interested to play all those games that came before it. I think that would be a nice little touch before they decide to, make a whole nother new game. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say that. That's what I'm gonna say. 8 Ball said, would love to see NHL and college football come to Switch 2. Breath of Fire 1 through 4. Yo, you talking business when you talking Breath of Fire. You talking business when you talking Breath of Fire. But no, you're right. We haven't had an NHL game for Nintendo since the Wii U era, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say since the Wii U, early in the Wii U era, and if not that, then it was definitely in the Wii era. But yeah, it's been quite a while since we've had that, and then obviously college football just came out last year, so it wouldn't hurt, right? It wouldn't hurt to have the college football game on the Switch as well. I think it's definitely doable. To me, I have the PlayStation 5 version, and to me, I mean, there's certain things I could tell, like, okay, if this was a PlayStation 4 game, it wouldn't run as well with these or this going on. But like overall, like I don't see why it couldn't be a PlayStation 4 game. So it is as a PlayStation 5 game, yeah, I definitely think that they could do something like that. Joycey said Rockstar loves money more than they hate Nintendo. Hey, facts. It's been hard pressed though. I will say that it's been hard pressed to discern those two things, because the GTA 5 has been on the 360 and the PS3. I mean, they could have even used that model, and even Switch at 146 million, they have not decided to put GTA 5 on there for whatever reason. Even like when it was selling fast and everybody else could see it was selling fast, and everybody had to change their tune of well now we figured out how to get the game running on the system. You know, beginning at the beginning stages, it was like, oh, we can't even get the start screen to show up that it's running so bad. So I think that they are going to change the tune, and like I said, I think it has a lot to do with Take Two being like, you better get up off your shoulders and make that money. I ain't playing. Y'all not missing another Switch console because we done missed out on that and all that money. We ain't doing it again. Y'all not doing it again. So Brand Smith said Expedition 33. I'm excited for that game, period. But that would be dope if it was on there. Higher chance, right? Because it's with Microsoft. I think we have a really good chance because it's Microsoft that game could possibly come to. And I think personally, if there's anything that I can say about Microsoft, I think they're somewhat aware more so than Sony when it comes to certain things. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to things like, you know, like the RPGs and stuff like that, I have a feeling that they are going to be more aware to like probably drop this game on a system where more people like RPGs. It could come to a Sony console too, but they ain't really buying that. Like if it was, I would not be surprised if it was just a Switch and an Xbox thing. I would not be surprised in the slightest. Xbox, because obviously that's where it came from, you know, and also Steam, obviously. But just on that, on the Switch 2 alone, yeah, no. I think that's a really good move. I think you sell gangbusters because I've not heard anybody yet be like, I'm not interested in Expedition 33. What you got to say, Risky? Let's see what you got to say. Top 3 GOAT franchises are GTA, Final Fantasy, and Zelda. Okay. I'm not going to put the other part that you said. Excuse me. Square said, been waiting on RE Remake and Sparking Zero. They're definitely going to be on Switch 2. Early Wii days throwback with RE4, Wii, and Tenkaichi 2 and 3. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think Sparking Zero, I think it came at the tail end of the Switch life. Honestly, I think it could have been over on the Switch, but now we're talking about the end of the life cycle. I think early on it's going to show up as one of the like newer titles in the launch window. I definitely think that's going to be a thing. And like, no doubt in my mind, if it's not right there in the window, it's like right outside of there that they're gonna, especially when they start having DLC and all that other stuff show up for Sparking Zero. Absolutely. As far as the RE4 remake, I think that would be chef's kiss to me. As far as when it drops, you know, GameCube, Wii, and then again on the Switch, I think that would be hot, especially as the remake. Joycey said, okay, but seriously, Metaphor, okay, I feel that. I think any RPG has a really strong chance of being on Switch. Like really, really strong chance of being on Switch. Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts native, not cloud. Feel that. I definitely feel that. If they get that right, if they actually put down the native Kingdom Hearts, I may go back and buy it again. I don't even care if it's packed with 3 or not, because chances are I probably won't play 3 that much. It's all about 1 and 2. It's definitely all about 1 and 2. Square said, I want Square to remake Final Fantasy 9, the GOAT. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Geronimo said Oblivion remake seems to be real. Yeah. So I'm definitely thinking with that in mind, I'm definitely thinking that it's gonna come to the Switch then. Just like Switch had Skyrim. I don't think it was day 1 though. I think it was in the launch window. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't. What up? I appreciate you coming through. You said I'm close to going off on Risky, but don't Out of respect for Sandstorm, I appreciate you. Sick of memories. I don't know how Sandstorm turns a blind. It's so easy, man. Like when you've been in here for a long time, it's easy to overlook overlook people who are just they're like risky, man. It's easy. It's so easy. Um, Let me see. I said what up to Vito. Appreciate you coming through. Okay, thank you. That's Thursday for Xbox. Okay, so we'll be here on Thursday for the Xbox. There'll be a live reaction for that. So definitely come through. As a matter of fact, I don't know exactly what time it is. It may be after I get out of work. But if so, I'm thinking it's gonna be like 4:30. What up, Levon? Appreciate you coming through. Yo, take a second. Don't leave out of this tab. Take a second. Go over to Levon Cason's channel. Make sure you subscribe to that, man. I'm thinking, Geronimo. I don't know if you live on the East Coast, man. But if you want to hop on, on the Stormcast for the Xbox Live Direct, I'll probably try and look to go at like 4:30, like we did with the Switch 2 reveal. You're more than welcome to hop in, bro. And I forgot, we have to figure out how to get this whole thing worked out, because I know you don't have Twitter, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, definitely. 8Ball said Wolfenstein 3, yo, my man. That's hotness. I would like the Metro games to come back too. Last Light and all the other ones. Tatsunoko versus Capcom is what I'm. Oh yeah. We read that. I actually think Final Fantasy IX remake will be in the April. Oh, that would be interesting. RJ said I'll agree with Risky on something, but maybe not the way he's thinking. Nintendo has 3 Western studios of their own. Have them make their own IPs. Honestly, it doesn't have to be M-rated. Yeah, no, I think that I agree with that. They don't have enough Western studios, and enough Western studios where they allow them to do their own stuff. And I don't know if that's around philosophy. Because Nintendo's philosophy has always been like gameplay first. Like, think of a gameplay mechanic and then make your game around that. Obviously, most Western developers do the story first, and then do like the gameplay around it, so the story becomes really bland. But I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure. But with that being said, that can't be all the way true, right? Because obviously they have Retro Studios, and Retro makes Metroid Prime. But then again, once again, this is a developer that's been with them for a while. So they know how the process goes. Like, and I will even say, for the fact that they had Bandai, I want to say, originally make Metroid Prime 4, and then look at it, and then they're like, no, and asked Retro to do it again, and they already made their proposition and they liked it, tells me that Retro is like one-on-one with Nintendo as far as their philosophies and stuff like that. So it can't be too hard that other people do it. What was the other what was the other group that just got hired? Was it Next Level? I want to say Next Level Games. And I can't remember if they hired them for the porting of third-party games. I can't remember exactly. Oh, that makes it even better then. Microsoft doesn't own Expedition 33. That studio is independent. It's coming to Xbox and PlayStation. Yo, then that makes it even better. If they can figure out how to get that to work and get them to jump in on that as well. But Nintendo's not one to go out and pay to get your game on their system. That's not their style. Yeah, right. Don't feed the troll. Don't feed the troll. He's not even from Michigan, so he can't be a troll. He's not from the LP, so he can't even be a troll. Yeah, this part. Only people who've only seen the surface matters think that Zelda is a kitty game. You know, when you're talking about going to the milk bar and my man's is drunk at the bar with milk. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. My thing keeps like going upwards. I'm like, wait a minute, I read that already. He said, if I don't cave in and got Mass Effect Trilogy on Series S, I would get it on Switch 2 if it comes. I need them to I need them to really hone down on some Mass Effect. EA. I need them to make a new trilogy. Like Andromeda, was like super lukewarm to me. I think they need to make a new trilogy, like just straight up, just a whole new trilogy that's along the lines. Find a new Shepard. I don't know, and I don't care, but they need to make a new trilogy that is more like those Mass Effect games than like Andromeda, because I was not feeling Andromeda. Andromeda kind of lost me. Like I didn't have the patience. To even finish the game, to be honest with you. You silly Exodia. He said I would like to see God of War on Switch 2. Sony is financially cooked. So it's gonna happen. Yeah, that would be dope though. Definitely the old stuff. I said what up to Levon. Brent Smith said, speaking of Microsoft, I would love for them to port South of Midnight to Switch. Yeah, absolutely. I already plan to buy the Steam version. Give me a physical. Yeah. That's definitely another one that would be nice to come over. It's funny because I feel like Microsoft would make a decent, Microsoft Studios, I should say, would make a decent second party team to Nintendo. And I know people think like, oh, you just on Nintendo's whatever. But no, but like honestly, I really do think they would make a decent team. Like when they were in their prime, like Fable 2, I think they really had something. I think they do really decently well with their handling of cars and Forza and all that. I think it's really good. Shooters, if Nintendo had like a dedicated shooter that was not Metroid Prime, if they still kept the licensing for James Bond and Perfect Dark and all those games came over and Nintendo pushed the whole idea of gameplay mechanics first on Microsoft, I really think they would have something. Microsoft's kind of greedy and like sneaky. So, I mean, it was never going to happen anyway, even if and we know that Microsoft has approached Nintendo to even try and buy them out. But like, even if the opposite were true, like Microsoft came to Nintendo and was like, please let us just study under your tutelage, I don't think it was ever going to happen. Like Nintendo would equally laugh at them in their faces for that same reason too. You know what I'm saying? So let me stop sharing that. I was sharing something in the background and it was killing my CPU. So yeah. Ah, my boy Retro, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through, bro. The only opinion that matters are your opinions on our new okay, Chunky Nugget redesign. Yo, Mario Kart Chunky Donkey Kong, man. Yo, he is coming in hot. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Yeah. Donkey Kong Country, bro. Yeah. Hey, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, keep it with the audio, man. You don't gotta watch nothing. Keep it with the audio, bro. Do you think third parties will start announcing games on Switch 2 or wait? So that's going to be part of one of our main conversations. We're going to talk about that probably in a couple minutes after I get through with a few of these. So yeah, Levon, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Let's see. Yeah. Dum 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 dum. Joycey said, I honestly would like to see a Nintendo made M-rated game out of curiosity, just see what they would come like Nintendo themselves. Because I mean they've had a few M-rated titles that they've been around, I should say, not necessarily straight from them. You know, Eternal Darkness was one of those at the time. I can't remember if Mad World was with them as well. And then obviously the GOAT. Where is it? The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. That woman is so bad. That woman is so bad. So yeah, I think that's. But I think I know what you mean. I think you're talking Nintendo themselves. Yep. You said Nintendo themselves. Yeah, I feel that. RJ said they bought Next Level Games. So okay, it has 4. Yeah. Yep. That was a nice one. I think that was a nice buy. That was a smart move. That was a smart move to me. They did well with I think the last one that I've seen was Luigi's Mansion, and I feel like they did a really good job with that. The milk had the Kahlua in it. That's why my man's had the hiccups. He had the Kahlua in it. That's why he was drinking heavy too. That night he was getting sauced. Don't let him go back home to his wife. He was getting sauced. He wanted to hear his people. He was getting sauced. He said, "Play the bear music for me." And he was crying all through that. I'm getting sauced. I'm having fun tonight. I ain't going back home until the moon comes a little bit further down on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so M-rated visual novels. That is okay. Let me flip this back over. There we go. Risky Mass Effect ending is still. Yeah, I didn't like it. It was rushed. It was definitely rushed. But RJ said not true. He never saw Yakuza making sense on Nintendo. Sega, on the other hand, had no problems at all. The one ported to Switch sold well for them. Joycey said, I need to play MEO. I've heard all good things. I think there's a demo. I need to download the demo, as a matter of fact, too. because I'm definitely interested. The more and more people talk about that game, the more and more interested I get into that game. I definitely want to keep my eyes on that. Definitely want to keep my eyes on that. Geronimo said, I do also agree Nintendo has got to work with at least one or two other studios to make more mature IP. Yeah. I think it'll happen. At some point. Unfortunately, Platinum Games is on their way out, so they can't be relied on much more. Yeah, I still think it kind of sucks that Nintendo never decided to buy them out, or in that same sentiment that Platinum really went with we're trying to stay as our own, because I think they really would have made magic, especially allowing them to have that control over Star Fox, to be able to do the actual Star Fox game, besides Zero. But I think giving them more opportunity, and who knows, Zero might have been the reason why Nintendo really didn't push for that. So yeah. Geronimo said I'll double dip for do South of the Midnight. I got to see more on it. I'm excited for it, but I got to see more on it. So yeah. Hold on. Exodia said, I don't even like God of War like that. I just want to see it on Switch 2 out of spite. Yo, that would be fresh. Yo, absolutely retro. Conduit. Yes. Geist. Yes. We've already talked about this. I will answer this one. Switch has been number one selling console in Japan since 2017, but how come all the big AAA third-party games mostly skip Nintendo? It was in a matter of they got caught with the pants down. That's easiest way to put it. They got caught with their pants down. There was a time, and thinking about the Wii U, I think a lot of them had that mindset that this was going to be another system that wasn't going to sell, and that it wasn't going to attract, just like the Wii U was. And so that's why there wasn't really too many developers on board with Nintendo even at the beginning. You had Capcom, but the only reason why Capcom was really on board was because they asked Nintendo to add a whole nother gigabyte of RAM to the system, and they said okay. And Capcom was like, all right, cool, we got you. They made it happen. And so that's originally why they even got Capcom. So I think as the sales just started jumping up, like, you know, people were still kind of mocking it, like, oh yeah, okay, this must be like the hardcore gamers that were there for the Wii U that are picking up the system, and it just kept rolling, and they got caught with their pants down. There's literally articles about how they couldn't get the start screen to run, or even Bandai Namco themselves, like, you know, Kakarot and what was the other game? Dragon Ball Fighters. Like, it couldn't run on the Switch. There was no way it could run on the Switch. But then miraculously, when the numbers started continuously going up, they're like, oh, we got it. We figured it out. It was this. This was holding us back. We figured it out. We got it, guys. We can make it run. And I think almost every developer was kind of in that same boat, as they wanted to act like the system wasn't powerful enough or capable enough, and then they found out the numbers is saying something. The numbers is calling, and they just was like, okay, all right, guess we're gonna have to put some. Hurry up, y'all! Remember the projects that we them. But get them over there. Like, we need to get them over there as soon as possible. Hurry. So I do definitely believe that there are a lot more people that are on board now. But I think April is going to be telling for us, and it's not going to be like with the Wii U. You remember back with the Wii U when they were doing the unveiling and everybody had their like positive stuff to say about the Switch or the Wii U. A lot of those people jumped ship. I don't think that's going to be this way. I think you're going to see a lot of names up there that are going to be like supporters. I mean, From Software was a supporter on the original Switch, I believe, even like day one on the board. So, if not day one, when they showed again more developers actually coming to the Switch, like here's the new piece. These are all the people. These like From Software was another one of those people. They're not going to be lazy on this one this time around. Like games are coming over to the system. They can see that already the handheld hybrid market is a thing. Nintendo's got the new thing. This is the thing that everybody's talking about. This is the thing that everybody's been waiting for. So, yeah, I think they're coming back. They are definitely coming back. Yeah, I just answered this. Yes. I would say take off this prefer making AAA games for PlayStation and just ask, does this mean Square Enix, Bandai Namco, From Software, Atlas, Koei Tecmo, Capcom, Konami are all coming to Nintendo Switch? Yes. I'm going to say it. Yes. You heard it here first. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's a real question, ain't it? Why do Nintendo games keep selling better than PlayStation games? Like on all fronts. Like why? Why is that? Yo, facts. They are the 9th gen winners. And now we're on 10th gen. Yeah, we running it. I say we like I'm part of the the Nintendo like Nintendo company. Nah, but it does. But Nintendo is doing good. They're running it. Yeah, Bayo. Okay, Mad World is Sega and Platinum. Nintendo heavily promoted it because of how it handled on the Wii, and I think expect more stuff like that. Like this Sega Platinum Nintendo trio, like they need to keep up with that. Like don't let that die out. Don't let that die out. The Sega Platinum Nintendo trio needs to keep going. That woman is so bad, so bad, so bad. She got fired. Yeah, yeah. You know, and now she got a new lady speaker for her. You know, I think it's sweet. I think it's sweet. Sega about to be pissed. They got Sonic Racing Cross Worlds this year, and they got to compete with new Mario Kart. I know they jumped on the ball and was like, "Dang it, New Wii should have came out last year." Who knows? And actually, it really honestly doesn't matter at this point, right? Because Sega is already, regardless if Mario Kart comes out this year or next year, like anything after Mario Kart, yeah, they can save, but they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it as well as they would have if they dropped the game before Mario Kart did. You know what I'm saying? Had to throw the cool stunner shades on. Let's see here. I just said I don't think Platinum Games is dead, like many are saying right out there in the brink, similar to how Capcom was at the time. They just need to do what they're good at. Yeah, that's facts. They need to come with more of those over the top fighting games, and it doesn't have to be exactly like Bayonetta. It doesn't really need to be exactly like Bayonetta. They don't have to do that. Bring an over the top like a shooter action game. I think that would be sweet. Branson says Platinum did it to themselves, sadly not mentioned. They're bleeding talent left and right, and it started with Kamiya. Yeah. A lot of people like underrate Kamiya, and Kamiya is so dope. I think Kamiya is a dope. I think he's so dope. Joycey said Nintendo definitely should have bought Platinum. However, since a lot of OG devs left, maybe that's why they didn't. Yeah. I mean, but at the time, I believe Kamiya was still around, so you know, I would love to see Kamiya and Sakurai like really get together. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see that. I would love to see that move. Yo, I appreciate that. Geronimo said I'll make a Twitter account again so you can hit me whenever. Yes, I greatly appreciate that, bro. That way we can get you on the cast, man. You know, and you're already a moderator. I'm gonna say this first and foremost. If you want to join the Sandstorm Show team, the Sandstorm Show cast, bro, you are more than welcome to, bro. That's how much love that just for looking out for us, bro. I'm saying that. That comes from me, that comes from Vito, that comes from Noto. You want to join the Stormcast team, the squad, the Midnight Guns. You are more than welcome to join us, man. You as a squad member, bro. As a squad member, I say that right here today, right now. Branson was give the last story and Pandora's Tower a second chance. Yeah. I feel that. Yeah, but I think this was like kind of over the top, but I think it was necessary. Because it was the reveal really was kind of anticlimactic, you know. There's still some stuff that we don't know about, you know, as fact for the Switch, you know, as far as power and stuff like that, which is actually going to lead me into the conversation in a minute. We are at 55 minutes, so like at an hour, we'll talk about it. Just getting kind of your ideas, what games should be good coming to the Switch 2 that you want to come to the Switch 2, kind of off that topic. I wouldn't go that far. Shout outs to my boy Prime, even though he knows we don't really talk like that, but shout outs to my boy Prime because he ends up doing that every single day, and I give him a lot of credit for doing so because that's got to be hard and taxing, not only just mentally, but just like coming up with new stuff to talk about and new ideas to talk about. That takes a lot. That definitely takes a lot. Marvel Alliance 4. Yes, absolutely. Yes, 8-Ball, you on point with that. Absolutely. Marvel Alliance 4. I don't know how that's going to translate though, because Disney is so far in the hole, and I don't want them to mess it up. I don't want them to add any type of agendas to that game. I think it would hurt the brand overall. But if they kept it intact, if they did exactly what they did for 3 and just kept the ideas open and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm for it. I'm all for it. They do. You got me agreeing with you twice. Respect the comment. Constant links on this ruin for those who's trying to be surprised and those who were working on everything. Yeah. Risky was right about that. Branson, not to mention Capcom told Switch users to buy this to get that. Yeah. Joyce said, I think that's why Yakuza got to the Switch, even though it was late. Yeah, no, I agree. And there was like that rumor for the longest time that Nintendo didn't want any of the Yakuza games on there because they didn't want anything to do with the Yakuza. I don't know how true that is. I don't even remember if it was Shadow or who said that. But just even with that in mind, and that if that was the case, it shows you how much different Nintendo is as a company now. Like that, for the fact that the Switch 2 is called the Switch 2. Like they didn't try and come up with something special or spicy or anything like that. That's what they had. They had the Switch 2 as the name for that. I think that's fine. I know a lot of people. We'll get into that in a second too. We are at 58 minutes. Yeah, we'll get into it in a second too. I was about to go off into a whole tangent, but we'll get into that in a second. He said, "You ain't no fanboy." Geronimo said, "Since PC and Microsoft have plateaued in sales, yeah, it's the PlayStation's already fallen behind the PS4. That definitely tells something." Only Princess Peach is more popular than Princess Zelda. That's facts. It's crazy how the most popular princesses in the world are video game characters. Brian Smith said we went from Joy-Con boys to Switch gang, and I don't know where the community goes from here. Oh yeah, it'll be probably Switch gang until they come up with a new console that's not the Switch. I don't know if that's gonna happen, to be honest with you. I'm kind of interested to know where they're going to go for their next evolutionary console, or if they're just going to decide to stay with the hybrids. You know, we never know. Technology, man. John said Sonic Racing will be fine. It's multi-plat, so they'll get a decent base. Yeah. You're right. That's funny. We're like, we'll do anything you say. We'll do anything you said. Just let us work on Zelda. Please, just let us work on Zelda. You know what I'm saying? They're like they're like Joycey. They're like the beggar kid in Majora's Mask. Like, please, just let us. Boom, 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 boom. The banker. Boom, 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 boom. Please, just keep it here. Please. So yeah, Geronimo said, "I appreciate it." Yes. Thank you, sir. We ain't here. Oh, what up, Dark Boy? Appreciate you coming through, bro. We are talking about games that you want to see come to the Switch 2. That's the current conversation. Vito, thank you, Vito. I appreciate that. Yeah, Vito said it was true. So that whole thing about Nintendo trying to stay as far away from the Yakuza, even by name of game, that was like that was it right there. So that shows you how far they've actually come. Yeah. RJ said, I disagree. I feel a good gaming YouTuber could make content that doesn't have to relate to any leaks and rumors or hardware. So yeah, they can. There's just not too many out there because that's the conversation that people want to talk about right now. It was back when we had when iPhone was like such a big thing. Like iPhone's just like, I barely even look up iPhone rumors these days, but like even back then, trying to figure out like the latest iPhone rumors, and you would see everybody talking about the latest iPhone stuff or the latest video game. Now, when it was like back when the PS4 or even the Wii U, I think that was how Rich kind of blew up in my mind, was the Wii U days and talking about the specs and stuff like that came behind it. And it's so funny because at the time he was like, this thing is going to be uber powerful. It's powerful enough to play the next generation games, and like he actually got me hyped off of it. So it's doable. It's just it's hard because that's, as far as this community goes, that's what everybody wants to hear. Like if you're doing outside the community, then yeah, absolutely. Joyce A, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And in my words, in my legendary comment, even a blind nut will find a squirrel every now and then. Exodia said, even though it's called the Switch 2, there's still going to be people saying it's a new console. Just like, is it a new? You know what's so funny? Okay, we're going to transition because I need to say this. I'm pausing the music for a second because we are going to transition now. It's funny that you say that because the last few videos that I have watched, coming from Digital Foundry, coming from IGN, the first few comments is this just an add-on to the Switch, or is this actually a new Switch? Like, that has like started to be a thing, and I know people are being funny, which, you know, the irony is cool, but like, don't start trying to turn that into a narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like visually, the system looks different. You could tell it's not the same. It's not even set up the same. It's visually a completely different system. It's a lot bigger than the original Switch. Even if you look at like the OLED, it looks like it's even still bigger than the OLED. Oh, it looks like, okay, so the Lions are finally starting to play. It's 8-12, and my Lions have the ball first. I don't know exactly what's going down. I can't actually watch the game, but I can watch the highlights. So yeah, I think it's crazy that we live in this time, and then that's the one thing that we want to keep throwing at Nintendo, to try and keep the differentiating, a thing. Like, I think that's so silly. To me. So yeah, Risky said Lunar 1 and 2, Street Fighter 6 on Switch. It'll definitely be there. It may not even be Street Fighter 6 by that time. It might be Super Street Fighter 6. Dark Voice said Psychonauts 2. I think that would be sweet. That'd be dope. He said, I think we're going to see a new Banjo game announced during April Direct. That's me and my conspiracy hat on. That's what's up. I feel that. Thank you, Brand Smith. Man, they got to win it all this year. They definitely got to win it all this year, man. I need them to win the whole thing. It's our year. Let 2025 be our year. Levon said, I want to see Metro Exodus on Switch 2. Madden on Switch 2. Yeah, that'll definitely come to Switch 2. I don't think they're lacking this year. This generation with Madden. They'll get Madden back because it was on the Wii U. There was no reason why it shouldn't have been on the Switch, except for the fact that they were mad that they didn't take their online infrastructure and all that other stuff. They wouldn't allow them to do online. Geronimo said, as a sad New York fan, I'm going to root for them. Thank you, man. That's much appreciated. Witcher 4, I'm going to say yes, that is going to come. I think Witcher 3 sold well for the original Switch, so I don't see why there wouldn't be a reason that they don't. It looks like they punted off to Washington. So they must have missed those first 4 downs. I'm looking to see who is all inactive. Yeah, so y'all see the title. We were talking about games, but we were also talking about double standards. And this was an interesting little conversation. I know he's not on. It's one of my friends, and he's actually not in the chat. And I'm not gonna like have this. I'm not gonna throw this conversation exactly what I was talking about, but to give you guys context. So we were talking about the first thing he said to me was I was disappointed with the Switch 2 reveal. And I said, oh, okay, why is that? And he said, Nintendo used to be innovators. He's like, they're not doing anything new. And so it was just kind of disappointing that it was just like a better Switch. And I'm like, it's so crazy. Let me turn this music back on. But I'm like, what's so crazy is that was the same complaint that everybody had. Like that was what every single person wanted when all they were talking about was the Switch Pro. We need a more powerful Switch. We need a more powerful Switch so they can run these games. We need a more powerful Switch so we can have Elder Scrolls. We're missing out on Elder Scrolls because we don't have a more powerful Switch. We aren't getting games like Armored Core because it doesn't run on it. It's not powerful enough to run on the Switch. We need more powerful hardware. And yet they give you a more powerful hardware, and the first thing you say is, well, it's not innovative enough. So, for one, I told him, and he's not like a Nintendo fan like that. Like he'll play Nintendo and stuff like that, but he's not a Nintendo fan like that. But I'm like, for one, we haven't even seen all the features of the system yet. I said the only thing that we've seen and can only speculate is that you can use one of the controllers as a mouse. And he was just like going on an innovation, and like we were kind of on two different planes. But I was telling him that Nintendo has always been set up the same way since the NES days. You have a revolutionary system and you have an evolutionary system. And shout outs to my boy T. If you haven't, Mr. T, if you haven't checked out his video, this was something that he talked about, but I definitely want to implement what he said into this conversation. The evolutionary systems from Nintendo always seem to do better than the revolutionary systems from Nintendo. So when you're talking about the revolution, the new revolution, you're talking about the NES. When you're talking about the evolution of the NES, you got the Super NES. When you talk about the revolution, you're talking about the N64, started 3D gaming. When you talk about evolutionary, you got the GameCube, higher quality, same stuff. When you talk about the revolution, Nintendo Revolution, and the Wii, the Nintendo Wii. When you talk about the evolution, you've got the Wii U. Similar stuff. When you talk about the revolution, you're talking about Nintendo Switch. When you talk about evolution, you're talking about Nintendo Switch 2. So it's the evolutionary systems were never the ones to do something wildly crazy as far as like the gimmicks, if you will. What makes the system attractive. So, he's like, okay, yeah, but even still, like, I was hoping that, they would do this and do that and not just do like the same old. I'm like, but you're getting the same old, but like a more powerful version of that. So, like, what the problem is. And it's funny that he said that because people tend to get on Nintendo for always doing too much and doing we don't need all these gimmicks. Oh, we don't need these. We don't need a extra screen. We want a traditional controller. We don't need a remote and nunchuck. We don't need any of those. We just want to play regular games. That's all we want. We want regular games. Blah, blah, blah. I don't need that. I don't need a second screen. But the moment Nintendo's like, okay, let's give them more of what they want. Oh, they're not doing enough. Oh, I'm so disappointed in them. They didn't do anything revolutionary or anything new. I feel like they've taken a step back. They've been taking a step back since 1993. Like, I'm just like, yo, but the question is, the double standard is, do you give Sony and Microsoft that same conversation? No, you don't. You don't ever give them that same conversation. What's so different between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5? And please don't tell me ray tracing. Stop that. Well, we got new performance modes. Stop that. Don't do that. What is different? What is fundamentally different between those systems? What is fundamentally different? I can tell you what is fundamentally different between a Wii and a Switch. You know what I'm saying? I can even tell you what's fundamentally different between a Wii and a Wii U. But y'all didn't like that. Y'all didn't want that. That's not what you wanted. You wanted a more powerful Switch. And when Nintendo said, "We heard y'all," again, and gave you a more powerful Switch, the first thing you did was complain. And you know what's so funny about that? You know what is so funny about that? If I'm thinking right now, this has happened. This has happened before at the beginning of the Switch life cycle. Isn't that crazy? Was it not the people in the Wii U era talking about how Nintendo was behind because all of their legacy were individual games? We have to buy individual games in the eShop. It would just be great if they just did a service and had all the games under one helm. And Nintendo said, okay, we see what you're talking about. Let's go ahead and do that. And as soon as they did that, it was, we don't want that. We don't want that. I just want to be able to buy a certain game from a system and just play it that way. I don't think I need a whole service in order to make this. Only with Nintendo do people ever do this. They never do it with Sony or Microsoft. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Never happens from Sony and Microsoft. We don't need a second screen. We don't need to play off the TV. Why can't they just give us a traditional controller? PlayStation Portal. This is fire. You can play off the TV. You can take it wherever you want to and play as long as you've got a Wi-Fi. Stop it. Stop it. Geronimo said, hold on. I went on a tangent, so I gotta climb back up. But hold on. Geronimo said, but also, I mean, honestly, some of them are doing this because since Nintendo has taken the PlayStation approach of iterative next-gen systems, Nintendo is about to hit the ground running when the Switch 2. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. Joycey said, PlayStation is definitely hated. It's just that the real gamers don't care. Yeah, you know, so this is what I'll say to that, Joycey. They're hated, but not under the same lens that Nintendo gets scrutiny for. I don't say I don't hate Sony. I think they have quite a ways to go when it comes to ideas and the games that they put out. I think they're misguided. I definitely think that they're misguided as far as software and stuff like that goes. As far as the hardware is fine to me. The hardware is fine. I just need them to stop trying to make every single game a whole story. Like, it's funny because when we were talking about having on the Winging It podcast these games becoming movies, and it was Ghost of Tsushima, it was Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, those could easily be shows or movies, but I don't want to play shows or movies. I want to play video games. I'm more interested in actually playing video games, not watching a cinematic for the next 10 minutes of you talking. That has no interest in me. And I'm just talking to me personally. And I know there are some people out there who feel the same way, but I'm just talking about me personally. When you do that, and you do that for all of your games, it gets boring. Like, they all start to gel together. Yes, I would absolutely love Sony to succeed. This is the thing, Joycey. And I'll say this, and anybody who's in Winging It podcast, anybody who's on the Jill podcast, anybody like in my circle will tell you this. Rob, Rule of Two Review, shout outs to him. Anybody in my circle will tell you the same thing. We need competition. For one company to solely dominate is never a good idea. Is never a good thing. Is not. All that hooting and hollering about how Sony is doing so much better than Microsoft is not a good thing. It's not. The only reason why it works for now is because Nintendo is on Sony's butt as far as sales. Like they are putting in real pressure on Sony, and so Sony has to come back with that pressure. And Nintendo was in that same boat. So it's not like Nintendo doesn't get pressure. They were in that same boat with the Wii U. They weren't doing well. They had to come up with an idea. They had to come up with something that would logically make sense that they could leverage to help them win. And they did it. The Switch was the perfect idea. So much so that now everybody's trying to move over into the hybrid space. Like that was an idea. That was a great idea. So now they've opened up new competition for themselves, even though the competition really isn't competition. Because at the end of the day, none of the PC handhelds are going to have exclusives like that. But just even off of a general sale, you know what I'm saying? Like from sale to sale competitor wise, not even talking like you're in the same exact market as me competitor wise. That's healthy. That's healthy. So I definitely want Sony to succeed. Absolutely. So yeah. So RJ said I'm going back up a little bit. Then I'll go back down. RJ said, for me, I'm disappointed about the reveal for them not showing us the features of it from gameplay. Show us how the mouse works. It's motion gyro better. Touchscreen coming back. HD Rumble. That's me. No. I definitely feel you on that. A lot of people have joked about this, and I really think that's really the answer. Is that Nintendo was like, y'all can just have this. Like, I definitely think there's another video out there that they were going to use for Switch 2. I wholeheartedly believe it. That there is. Can I say my sources told me? My sources told me that there's actually a different trailer that they were going to present, and I think they went back to the drawing board, and because all of that stuff had been revealed, they decided to go with this trailer instead. Like the bare minimum trailer. Like, this is all you're getting. I don't think there was going to be a whole lot of gameplay and stuff like that as far as like what games were coming, and then you get to see the features for those, like we did with the original Switch trailer. We got to see a new Mario at that point. We got to see Splatoon 2 at that point. I don't think we were going to get anything like that. What I do think is that they would have showed off Mario Kart and how you can use the mouse with that as far as it goes. But I definitely, Geronimo said I definitely think it was for the mainstream investors. Mainstream and investors, and I agree to that. I definitely agree to that. It was for people who aren't us. There we go. My Lions already scored. There we go. Here we go. We're starting to move. So I think it was one of those, but I think we would have gotten a lot more had a lot of those rumors not came out. I think we would definitely have gotten a lot more. Square said, if the April 2nd doesn't show anything beyond the mouse Joy-Con, then there's a little bit of validity to the innovation concerns. I feel that. I think so. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that there's HD Rumble 2.0. I can't imagine that Nintendo would go back to regular Rumble, seeing as how now Sony has their own Rumble feature. The only person who doesn't really is actually Microsoft. But I think that the original Switch controllers, I think they're going to be backwards compatible because there's no, besides the button that's on the bottom, there's no other buttons that are like wholeheartedly different than the original Switch controller. Like, will you be able to attack? No, that's not going to happen. But I do think you'll be able to use the dog face and use them separately to be able to do them.
This is Sandstorm.
So yeah. Square then said the C button hasn't been shown and the letter C was hidden in the trailer. I just found out that Switch 2 may have a built-in microphone. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd definitely be cool to be able to talk to people again. But you know, just refine it to make it something special. We haven't even seen the OS yet, so we don't even know if it's, you know, if it's the same old OS or if we're getting a Miiverse style thing. That was like the talk, is that they've come up with a whole new way to implement Miiverse into it. So you know, it's still definitely possible. It's still definitely possible. So yeah, RJ said this does go to show that those who want Nintendo to be like Microsoft is pretty small in comparison. Loud, yeah. They're very loud, but they're very small, which is wild, right? Which is crazy to me, because like it's the journalists who say it. It's the journalists who start off with this. It's so funny. I can pull it up now. I'm not going to. I can pull it up now. I can see on IGN, Kat Bailey, and the rest of that crew. I can't even remember the rest of their names because I haven't watched it in a while. Like, I fell off on them for that reason. I can see them all talking about a Switch Pro. It is here. It's coming. Switch Pro is coming. All we need is that extra power. Nintendo, just drop it. Just show us. We already know it's there. Blah, 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 blah. The moment a Switch 2 comes out, it's a little disappointing, because I feel like they've held back on the innovation. What? Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense to me, because I'm not understanding how you say one thing and then you want a completely different thing when they give it to you. Like, y'all are just a bunch of materialistic, I can't even think of the word that I'm thinking of. Y'all are just a bunch of materialistic, entitled. I won't even say that because I don't want to be derogatory. But like that's what y'all are. That's what y'all are. Nothing ever pleases you. Yeah. Geronimo said, I do have a problem with some of these articles. They are already trying to spin silly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. They're trying to throw these weird narratives out, and it makes no sense to me. Like, it makes no sense to me. I watched Linus Tech talk about his hold on. Like, this is about to infuriate me. Hold on. Yeah, that's the guy. And I know the thing is Austin Evans. So he showed off, him and that dude Matt showed off their live reaction to the Switch. And I can't remember what what was their thing as a group. It triggered me. It triggered me. There it is. Their thing was Switch 2 isn't worth it. And I'm listening to this guy and I'm like, bro, you sound like, but this is officially, this is really how I hear people talk. I'm like, you're not making any sense. Hold on. I'm gonna let y'all guys in on this. So the title already is Switch 2 worth it? Hold on, let me move in here. There we go.
Welcome to This Is the Switch 3. Let's talk about
We're
it.
not talking about Switch 3 because
He said the Switch 3, bro.
the Switch 2
Not
has
playing with
finally
me.
been confirmed. We've been talking about this console, I feel like, for like 3 years now. Let's break down what's new, what's official, and what is not yet official, but the leaks are heavily pointing toward. Bottom line, Switch 2, a real console that exists that will be shipping in 2025. Just they waited till after everyone bought a Switch for Christmas.
Yeah, I said they were going to.
Now get ready for the hate. The beat 'em up dudes also hate. Yeah, get ready for the hate. This is so funny. And I know this has got to be like, you know, they got to put in like the bad, you know, with the good and stuff like that to generate views and stuff. But like, there's certain things that I don't like, that I don't completely agree with. Jamie God, yo, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming through, bro. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for coming. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But check this out.
You said they weren't. You're like,
I
no,
thought they
they're
announced
going
it
to
before.
announce it in November. And I'm like, no. They're going to milk this boy for all it's worth.
Well,
so
they have indeed.
I will say, to surprise to no one who watches this channel, I'm very underwhelmed.
I don't think you're alone.
I think, I want to give credit where credit's due. I do think the Switch design was quite nice. So I don't think they needed to reinvent the wheel. Keep in mind, we only have seen a render of this.
This is
Some
like
of my thoughts
the
might
only
be
good piece
changing
that
when we
he
see the
had.
physical. Everything I saw on there, I thought was the wrong choice.
Okay, so
See?
let's break
There
it
we
down.
go.
So first and foremost, we're going off of this trailer, which I will say is very heavily on visuals, very light on actual information.
There is no
But-
information.
Well, there's a little bit, but the thing is, almost everything we saw in this trailer correlates one-to-one with the leak. So we're gonna kind of mix it up a little bit. But Switch 2 is bigger. How much bigger? Hard to say. It's gonna be in the 8-inch range. I think it's pretty safe to say. Isn't that a surprise? I do think there are some advantages when it comes to like the controllers, but it's going to be less portable. It puts it on the same sort of realm as like something like an ROG Ally or Legion Go or Steam Deck. It is going to be a chunkier boy and certainly a wider boy.
This makes me wonder, though, where this sits. Because the first thing I'm gonna complain about is the screen.
Go ahead.
So looking at these renders, it looks like the bezels have not been shrunken down whatsoever.
There actually is a little bit of a reason for that. If you look at the way that the Joy-Cons attach,
Right.
they kind of like go inside the console a
So
little
he
bit.
even
So I
gives,
do
like,
understand
a
that they need a little bit
reason
of extra
as to
sort of
why.
space. But here's the thing, we don't know for sure. It seems like this might not be OLED. This actually might be an LCD display.
I doubt it's OLED.
Yeah. With the original Switch, both Switch and Switch OLED, they had to keep the same dimensions because they were tied to Joy-Con compatibility. But with the Switch 2, the Joy-Cons are now larger, which means that the entire console is no longer strictly sort of...
Hold on.
Screen to body ratio. Looking at this thing with these chunky bezels feels old. But with it being at that 8-inch size,
Yeah.
this puts it in a weird spot of who is it for? I think 8 inches is a little big for a kid. At 8 inches, it's
Pause.
okay. It's
Super
competing
pause.
with like an Ally,
Yeah.
but we know it's not gonna have the
Super
power of
pause.
that in this form factor.
If we're gonna dip into rumor town for just a second, the specs of which is fine, you know, that makes sense. That's kind of what we expect for adult hands. If you have
Yeah, so this guy is like, he spends his whole, I'm not even gonna go through the whole thing, but he spends his whole time hating. I think it's wild. I think it's so wild. Risky said, you only want people to praise the Switch 2. No, not at all. I mean, give your honest opinion on the Switch 2. I mean, I would say that you can't give a full honest opinion on the Switch 2 since we don't actually know everything about the system. We're really just talking about the reveal of it. And I mean, if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. I just think that people take that a little too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, was the reveal in itself a little poor? It's up to you. Yeah, the what about it? Yeah, right. The super pause on that. Like, you're not finna get my channel blocked. You ain't finna get me blocked again. But no, I think that Lights are for the kill. Right, exactly. I think the unwarranted hate is probably my biggest problem. Risky. That's my biggest problem. Um, let me go back and like y'all are keeping up with the chat so fast. I gotta keep up with y'all. No, we talked about that. Nintendo pushing everyone because of the leakers by giving a teaser trailer. Yeah. And we're gonna talk and the next piece. I'm gonna say what I need to say about that as far as the games and stuff like that. Doc Trey already hinted at it, but this was actually something that after the reveal, something that I heard from a few other people. I be feeling like I actually got some sources out here, but and then he said, and I was like, dang, are we talking to the same people? Abo said, but we need the Switch 2 to have the latest chipset, processors, 8K on board day one. In order and buying it, right? And wait, don't let it be over $400 because even still, they'll be like, oh, that's too expensive. That's too expensive for a Nintendo console. That's too expensive. Joycey said, not exactly. We're all adults and understanding. We don't always want to spend in spare time. Yeah, I feel that. I don't know what donkey is, Risky. I don't know what you're talking about. My brother. My brother who? Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me who that is, because I mean I only got two brothers, so you're gonna have to let me know who that is. Square said these narratives won't work this time like with the Wii U, and remember G4 and E3 are dead, and all that could be traced back to the misinformation about the Wii U. Yeah, the only one that, like, I won't even say poses a problem, but the only people that people run to now is Digital Foundry. Like, oh, these games are running bad. Oh, don't buy it because these games are running bad. But they're not nearly as popular as G4 and E3 at that point. Andre, what up, my boy? Andre said anything over 400, most people in the online gaming community will boast that they won't buy it and then still end up buying it and then lie about it, bro. And then lie about it. They'd be like, oh, I got this as a, somebody gave this to me, or, Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? They'll lie about it. Austin Evans, he was like one of the first people to get the Xbox Series X and give like the look over it. I think Microsoft came and let him play games, and he found out about the suspension mode and all that other stuff, and but he got to try the freezer or the refrigerator. Geronimo, carrying the legacy of carrying the legacy of G4 early real narratives. You're right. Levon said, I thought the reveal was basic, but it got the job done of letting people know that it's a successor. And that was the whole purpose in the first place. Like, I think people's expectations were like super high. Like, we're gonna get all this information now. The fact that it was called Switch 2 Reveal as a video, like, said everything to me. Like, you're not getting a whole lot about this. And then we were even told, Nate even said ahead of time, don't expect it to be software centric, which is a piece that I'm going to talk about in a second. So, Jamie guy said, Nintendo Switch OLED console better than new Switch console. Yeah, absolutely. No. Nintendo Switch OLED console better than new Switch consoles? No. I wouldn't say trigger, more or less passionate. I get really passionate about those things. It doesn't actually like anger me. I'm not like getting up and like, like, I'm old, bro. I don't get you can never get me to a point where I'm actually legitimately mad about a piece of plastic. Those two guys ranting about Switch 2 in that video will be standing in line picking it up day one. I know Austin will. He's he actually at the end of that video he talks about how he's really optimistic about it. The other guy's just like, you can just play a Steam Deck and just get the games from there and emulate them and they'll be better. Yeah, I think he really sounds like that too. Drama, they're pulling the what about is yeah. New Nintendo Switch 2 be more taxa, brother. I don't know what you mean about that. Explain that. I don't know what you mean by that. People can be disappointed by the reveal, especially those who didn't follow all the leaks. Yeah. Risky said the specs are going to be outdated. That is enough for people to hate. I mean, is it though? Because the specs for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X were outdated as soon as they hit the market. So what are you talking about? Exodia, the Switch 2 reveal is the greatest reveal ever caused the ceasefire in Gaza. Ha! Ha ha!
This is Sandstorm.
They said that. Yeah, no, they said that exactly about Switch 1. You're on my channel now. That wasn't my channel. So I don't dictate what happens on other people's channels, and it was a little bit out of line what you said, but once again, you weren't banned on my channel, so yep, over anything and I'm buying it. Yep. Nope, definitely not a double standard because I just said that. So many gamers online have their caps lock on with their yeah, I know. And somebody said something to me, maybe it was Nintendo Prime, about, no, it was OJ talking about how there was a lot more people who have what is that disability called? Dang, I can't think of it. But there are a lot of people who have that kind of disability. So you really don't know who you're talking. You may not know who you're talking to. So they do a whole lot of swearing and all that other stuff. You were never banned because of the Cali Fire thing. You were still on. Joyce said, I feel like Switch 1 power catered to handheld players. Switch 2 will cater to those who play dock. I think so too. I think this is gonna be the best situation as far as like those three pillars. You're gonna get the docked piece with like the real big upgrade as far as like docked. And then, like at some point in time down the road, if the system isn't actually LCD, you'll get the OLED piece for the people who are more on the handheld side. But I'm still thinking that it's going to be 1080p. It's not going to be 720p this time around. I definitely think it's, or allowed up to, I should say, up to 1080p. Ban is where you can't type in all of and blocked, and I removed that comment. Yes, thank you. Appreciate you, J Biggs. Linus Tech Tips. Oh yeah, nope, they weren't. Yeah, super facts. I still hope it comes out before then. They're talking about April. Yeah, I mean, like even if you line those two up with the October to January to March release with the original Switch, if you're looking at January now, the next one comes out and the next reveal comes out in April, or information comes out in April. If you wait 2 more months, that's June. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case. I would love for it to come out in May. Geronimo said, with some of the information about NVIDIA chip and specs known, both handheld and dock, people should be well fed this time. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Switch to OLED model for $450, calling it now. Maybe. That all depends on what the price of the original Switch is going to be. Yeah, better with DLSS. I don't know. I doubt they're going to use it for handheld. I think that eats up in too many resources. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, 8Ball. 1080p handheld, 4K docked. Am I hyped for the next 5 years? I'm interested to see where it's going. I wouldn't say I'm hyped. I'm interested to see where the industry goes, how they're gonna handle the Switch 2 situation. I'm more interested in that. Joycey said, I think it's coming out in June. The hands-on events go through May. Yeah, but a couple people said that even with the original Switch, a lot of those events still went on even after the events that were going on. The Switch was already out and they still had events for it. So so another thing, another piece that I want to say actually is, and it's definitely part of the games piece, right? So let me go down a little bit on that. Pause. So it's interesting. The talk was, and I heard, I was gonna make a video off of this, but then Trey did one, and I was like, that was going to be my first video for Gaming Forecast, and then it ended up not happening because it would have been pretty much the exact same video. But so I was talked to about how I thought that the floodgate was going to open after the Switch 2 announcement. You were going to see a lot of the big developers talking about how their system was coming to the Switch 2, or you were going to see new trailers and you were going to see that Switch 2 logo in the bottom. And from what I heard around the grapevine, this was the same thing that Trey said, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be some validity to it, is that Nintendo still has something up so that a lot of those third-party developers can't reveal games, because that gives you an indication of where the level of capabilities for the system is. And they're still very much wanting that to still be a secret. Like, where does this system sit? So there's good talk. So from my understanding, Nintendo has a narrative that they want to spin, and that there's good talk and that there's bad talk. The bad talk was all the leaks that happened about the system and it being leaked out before they could show. The good talk is the conversation of people not accurately being able to know the capabilities of the actual system. How powerful is this system? So when you're talking about any game that comes out, any of them, you're talking about the Elden Ring new DLC that's supposed to come out. Like, they show that off, or they talk about that and say, this is coming to the Switch 2. Immediately, what the system is capable of. Okay, Elden Ring is not a small game by any means. It's not a little title by any means. So we know that it's capable of being able to run this. And I can't remember if Elden Ring was backwards compatible or not. Or yeah, with PS4. I can't remember. I think it was a PS4 title, but correct me if I'm wrong, whatever. But you'll know at that point, like, okay, system can run Elden Ring. So we know exactly what games it can run. And even though there's like well, that doesn't really matter, Sandstorm, because then you're only talking about one game. You're not really giving us an idea of like what exact games can come. It still gives you an idea of the range that you're actually dealing with. And that's, like I said, that's been the talk that I've been hearing around from a few sources, my news sources. Yeah, that's super facts. That's super facts. You do got to mature up a bit. You don't have to be angry about everything. Yeah. So I think the talk is that all of those people, man, I don't know why my nose itches so much when I'm ever doing a live stream. It's not like I'm itchy all the time. It's only during live streams. But those companies I've heard have to like keep their mouth shut until April 2nd. Like after April 2nd, they're able to talk about whatever they need to talk about. But up until that point, can't say a word. Can't say a word about anything as far as the games. But I don't think that has been strictly to I think that has only been stricken to just the third-party developers, like the indie titles and stuff like that. I've heard Silksong is waiting to be shown off at the 4/2 event. Actually, I've heard a couple sources talk about Silksong finally being done and finally being ready to be shown off again at the 4/2 event. We'll see if that actually happens, though. You could have an allergy in your streaming room. No, because that's what's crazy is I'm in my streaming room all the time. Like this is the same computer and all that other stuff that I like play games on. I think it's just the like me constantly talking and the vibrations hitting my nose. And it just makes me itch every time. It's just crazy. Where like usually if I'm in here and I'm playing, I'm not really saying anything. I'm just playing the game. Silksong is an urban myth. Yeah. At this point, it definitely is. We don't know what's true or what's not true. But that's the information I was given. That Silksong was actually going to be shown off at the 4/2 event. I think that's very fitting for Nintendo to bust out Silksong before anybody else. Like, oh, remember this? Yeah, that's it. That's the game. That's the game y'all been waiting for. So yeah, so I think so. Part of me wants to say that you're going to see something from the Microsoft event, but I'm also kind of leery from all that information and being told that they got to hold out. I don't even know if you're going to see that. I don't know if you're going to see that. I think it's at this point it's like a 50-50. Dang, Washington is coming back. I think it's a 50-50, and I think that at this point, if they don't show anything off, and this I'm just seeing just how this is going to go. If they don't show anything off that says Switch 2 at Microsoft's Direct, but you see PlayStation in the corner, man, and PlayStation boys are going to go so hyped. So, oh, see, we told you, ain't nothing coming to the Switch, blah, 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 blah. See, why is these games coming to the Switch? Master Collection was actually only meant for PlayStation. I don't think that's the case. But I do think if we see that, I think, put it this way, when the Xbox event comes around and we don't see a single thing that has a Switch 2 logo on it, by the end of that presentation, that is the big indicator that Nintendo wants all third party to be quiet, like all the way up until 4.2. That is the indicator right there, that they want them to be quiet. Don't say anything about anything. Risky said Flight Sims Gear Awards 2. I mean, anything. If you don't see anything that has the Nintendo Switch, and I'll be looking. We'll be looking when we get on Thursday. But if you don't see a single one, nothing on there that says Switch, that's the indicator right there for all third party. They don't want nobody saying anything. So yeah, man, the Commanders are up. This is wild to me. This is wild to me. Detroit better. Everything is in their hands now. I have to say that on the side. Everything is in the Lions' hands now. If they can't capitalize here, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, if you can't win at this point, if you're not winning at this point, if you're not winning this, I don't know what else we can do. I don't know what else we can do. So at this point, it'll be what? They got the touchdown, but I don't know if they went for the field goal or not. They are, but their offense should be strong enough to be able to handle business. If they can make it through this and just make it through the next one, they should be okay. Just got to have faith in the team, I guess. Just got to have faith in the team. Trying to make sure that I got it on like the latest information. There we go. So they're going for a field goal, I guess. I guess that's to try and get the So they got it. So it's 10-7. They're up by 3. That's okay. So other than that, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully next week brings us more information. Make sure you guys check out. Make sure to hit that like button, man. Make sure to hit that like button. We're doing really well with our likes and our viewership. We're getting back to the level we were at before. I really appreciate y'all. Even going from 483 subscribers, we're already back at 63. I really appreciate that. Make sure you guys tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come through and subscribe to the channel. You know how we do. We're always here every Saturday at 7 o'clock. Whether it's just me, whether it's me and the Winging It podcast, or even the Jill podcast people. Thank you, RJ, for coming through. Risky, Brand Smith, all my moderators, Dark Void, Joycey, I really appreciate you. I'll see you on the Nintendo Prime podcast. I believe, hey, put in a good word for me, Joycey, because it seems like he always talks to you. Put in a good word for me. I'm trying to get in on their podcast as well. J Biggs has already done such, but definitely trying to get on that podcast so I can say some words as well to them all. Appreciate you, Andre. Geronimo, get with me. Peace out, Brand Smith. 8 Ball, thank you for coming through. Exodia, thank you. Before we get out of here, make sure we're doing the prayers. Jamie God, yo, make sure you hit that subscribe button, bro. I really appreciate that. Father God, thank you for letting us be here together to discuss the things that we love to talk about. We appreciate you making a safe space for us and an enjoyable space for us. Just having a good time and laughing with each other, and nobody being hurt emotionally, and just being our authentic selves. In Jesus' name we pray. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you guys later. Oh, my thing froze.